Aw, yeah, global citizen, get ready for some serious inspiration. We're learning with a fantastic Will Smith movie called The Pursuit of Happyness. You're going to learn a lot of great vocabulary, but especially you are going to learn to understand fast-speaking natives and even improve your pronunciation yourself. So let's jump into it.
He said you're smart.
This thing's impossible. I can do it. No, you can't. No one can.
And by the way, if you're new here, every single week we make fun new lessons like this one with Will Smith to help you to understand fast-speaking natives without getting lost, without missing the jokes, and without subtitles. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell down below so you won't miss a single new lesson.
I'm going pro!
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know, you'll probably be about as good as I was. That's kind of the way it works, and I was below average. So you'll probably ultimately rank somewhere around there, so you'll excel at a lot of things, just not this. I don't want you out here shooting this ball around all day and night, all right?
All right.
Okay? All right, go ahead.
I'm going pro!
Oh!
All right, says I'm going pro. What does that mean if you go pro, Izzy?
That's pretty literal, right? Pro is professional. So if you're going pro, you're becoming pro. Or in this case, he means that he will become a professional basketball player.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know,
Now we have some really nice connected speech here, right? This is a really common one you see all the time in English when we say, I don't know, or like he did here. So he pretty much drops the T sound there. So it becomes I don't. And it links to the N sound, the N from don't to the N sound in no. So it becomes I don't know. And I believe the he also reduces the U to just a ya. So it becomes You'll
probably be about as good as I was.
So first of all, how does he say probably? Did you catch that?
Yeah, normally natives will reduce probably to simply probably. And I think here he even reduced it further. That he was like probably. It's like very shortened and it connects immediately with be. So probably be.
Probably be about as good as I was. How does he say the remainder of that?
So probably be about as good as I was. There's an American T, a flap T in about, which connects with as good, about as good. And there's another connection with good as, about as good as I was.
You'll probably be about as good as I was.
And this is a really nice sentence construction as well that he used there. So about as good as I was, about as good as something else. When do we use that?
So this is when something is at the same level. In this case, he's talking about basketball. So to be as good as somebody at basketball, you're at the same level of skill. Because the word about here is approximately or close. Not exactly, but close. So as good as something is exactly, you're saying that it's the same. And about as good is very close to how good it is.
You could use this even in the negative too, right? To say like, that movie I saw was as bad as the one I saw last week. So you're saying that they're comparably, neither of them was good. And there's a nice expression also that I thought of that's as good as it gets. So for example, if Izzy asked me, how was your vacation to that place? I could say, oh, it's as good as it gets. Meaning that it can't get any better.
That's kind of the way it works, and I was below average.
So that's super reduced how he said kind of there. How did he say that?
Kinda, right? And sometimes you even hear the D sort of dropping there. So it's kinda. That's kind of the way it works. And here he's just being negative, right, about it. So he was just saying, just to explain the context, he's saying that, I was not very good at basketball when I was younger. You'll probably be at the same level. And that's usually the way it happens with kids, Most don't become professional athletes.
Just totally killing his dreams.
That's kind of the way it works, and I was below average.
All right. He's really reduced the word average there, right? How did he say that?
Average. This is
Average.
normally the way it is said, right? The syllable that has the emphasis there is the first one, so it's like ah, and then the rest of the word you can say it pretty quickly. It's like bridge, average. So he says that he was below average. What does that mean?
If you're average, it means you're at the medium of how other people are. If you're above average, it means you're better than most people are. If you're below average, it means you're worse than most people are. And then we could use the word way there, for example, like you're way above average. You're much better than other people. You're way below average. You're much worse than other people.
With the word average, that makes me think of synonyms that can be applied in different circumstances, like middle of the pack. I'm a big fan of sports.
Wow.
So when you say that a team is like middle of the pack, is like right there in the middle of the rankings, right? It doesn't do so well, but it doesn't do so poorly. So it's middle of the pack.
Okay, so you're watching this lesson, and I'm sure that you have been learning a ton of advanced expressions, advanced words in English. But let me tell you that if you don't review this vocabulary, you will likely forget it very soon. If you want to be able to actually use these words you're learning today next time you get into an English conversation, I have just the perfect solution for you. And that is the deck of vocabulary flashcards of this lesson that we have prepared for you for free on the Real Life app. Let's see how it works. Instead of having to spend a lot of time taking notes of these words that you're learning today, you can review all the vocabulary on the app with just a few clicks with these intelligent flashcards that come with definitions and images. Plus, you get to watch this lesson inside the app, so you can transition between watching and practicing more easily. And most importantly, our app's special algorithm will present you with the vocabulary card you're learning at the exact moment you're about to forget it. So you can transfer your learning from your short-term memory to your long-term memory and remember all the words forever. And just imagine what it would be like if you could remember everything and actually use these words in your conversations. Imagine how confident you would feel with your English and how easily you would be able to express your own thoughts and sound smart, just like you are in your native language, but in English. Imagine communicating confidently in that meeting, in that job interview, in that English test that you have to take, or in that conversation that you may have with a local when you're traveling. So what are you waiting for? Start taking your vocabulary to the next level with this lesson's flashcards. All you need to do is download the Real Life app, which is free, and follow the instructions so you can unlock this exclusive deck of cards. The link is in the description below. Click on it, download it, follow the instructions, and I will see you there.
So you'll probably ultimately rank somewhere around there, so...
He uses a lot of these,
He does.
which is very common when we speak, right? That filler of, He has some nice connected speech here of like ultimately and around there, both being reduced.
Ultimately is another one of those words, like similar to average. You'll often say it by reducing the syllables. So in this case, it sounds more like ultimate. Or you can even drop the T, so it's like ultimate. You stop the flow of air, ultimate. And what does ultimate mean?
In this context, it means that in the end, when we get the results, that's basically going to be how you'll be ranked.
Like basically when he becomes older, when he's an adult, he'll have seen that, well, this didn't work out. I didn't grow up to become a professional athlete, right? Ultimately, that's not what happened. And this is a common pattern, I would say, in pronunciation, that you'd hear ultimate. There's other words like intimate. I hear a lot of times learners saying intimate or ultimate, which is not how you should say it, right? Like that last syllable has a schwa sound, it's like mit. Ultimate, intimate, estimate.
So you'll probably ultimately rank somewhere around there, so...
Around there, he actually drops the D sound. This often happens if a word ends in D or T and the next one begins with like D, T, or TH, that will just pronounce the second one. So here it becomes around there, around there.
You'll excel at a lot of things, just not this. I don't want you out here shooting this ball around all day and night, all right?
That's a really nice term, excel at something. What does it mean if you excel at something?
It's to be excellent, right? So maybe a more common word, excellent. To excel at something is to be very good at something. In this case, basketball.
Exactly. And that whole phrase was just full of connected speech.
Really, you'll excel at a lot of things, just not this.
Maybe we could start at the end and work our way back. So just not this. In just, we usually will drop the T sound when it's followed by another consonant. So instead of saying just and having a plosive T at the end, we'll just say just. And we have linking with not and this. Again, that same thing I was saying before, that one ends with T, the next one begins with the TH. So we just say the TH, not this, just not this.
Really, you'll excel at a lot of things, just not this.
So this is very good for training the glottal T sound, which is just like stopping the flow of air. Because he said you'll excel at a lot of things. Let's try and repeat that.
Really, you'll excel at a lot of things, just not this. You'll excel at a lot of things, just not this. So I don't want you out here shooting this ball around all day and night, all right?
He used a very nice synonym for basically playing basketball. So could you explain that, Izzy? Are you familiar with this term?
Yeah, he was saying shooting this ball around, which is like if you shoot the ball in basketball, that's the action of, shooting the ball.
Throwing
Literally.
it, yeah.
Throwing it, yeah. And around here is used to just give that playful tone to what you're describing there. So he's not just like shooting the ball, he's shooting the ball around, like moving around the court. So you can see that in other phrases. For example, like playing around.
This makes me think too of a synonym we can use for basketball, which is shooting hoops, because the hoop or the basket is the place where you try to make a goal. So shooting hoops is just a more colloquial way to talk about the sport.
So I don't want you out here shooting this ball around all day and night, all right?
And then we had some other nice connected speech examples. So I don't want you out here becomes I don't want you out here. We have want and you go together. This happens very commonly because we have a T plus a Y and the U reduces. So it's want you. The don't, we have a stop T, so we don't pronounce that T. I don't want you. And out has another glottal T, so we cut off the air at the back of our throat. I don't want you out here.
I don't want you out here shooting this ball around. This is really great for practicing connected speech.
So I don't want you out here shooting this ball around all day and night, all right?
And then he finishes that with the last part of that sentence. So how does he say that?
So this is very common, right? To reduce and to just un. Like we have cat and dog, salt and pepper, day and night. All right, so that first part was pretty depressing, but don't worry because it does get better. So get ready for how Will Smith turns around the very negative message that he gave his son and turns it into something very inspiring.
Hey. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
I just immediately start to get the feels. I just
Tear up a bit.
This is amazing.
Get watery.
Tear up a bit. Mm-hmm.
Definitely hits the heart.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something.
So here, there's more really nice connected speech. We've seen some of these patterns already, right? Like dropping the T in don't, so it becomes don't ever. Same thing happens with can't. Can do something, which of course is different than if it were can, the positive. This is frustrating for a lot of learners, and we've made a lesson on our other channel, Real Life English, all about this. But when it's positive, it'll reduce to kun.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something.
And don't ever here is simply never, right? But it's just more emphasized. Like don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. And also it's important to note here that he said something in a way that sounded really like quick and maybe even lazy, like something. He said that a couple times. So, can't do something.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. You got a dream, you got to protect it.
Okay, so here he says, you got a dream, you got to protect it. Something that stands out for me there, Izzy, is that he uses the same sound twice, but it's not actually the same thing that he's saying, because he says, you got a dream, you got to protect it. One is got a with the article, and the other one is got to with a preposition, but both are pronounced as gotta.
Yeah, and that basically just means you have a dream, you have to protect it.
People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it.
If you do something yourself, that means you are doing it on your own or by your own effort. There's a very common expression, which is like DIY, do it yourself.
Nice.
If you go on YouTube and search for videos, DIY videos, you'll see a lot of people making things for their homes. So rather than paying somebody to do it, they're doing it themselves.
Even bookstores will have a DIY section. This is probably less common now with the internet and YouTube, but I remember this being quite common when I was younger.
You want something, go get it. Period.
So here we hear him say, get it, and it's pretty similar to what happened earlier with gotta. So get it, and we have just a glottal T there at the end. But it's not being used here as have, is it? It's not saying go have it. It's saying go achieve it or go find it.
It's a nice collocation. There's even like a go-getter. This person is a go-getter, meaning that they are the kind of person who just go after it and they're like an achiever, right?
Yeah, if you're looking for a job, you might even see a company say that they're looking for a go-getter. And then Izzy, he says period here. What does he mean with that use of period?
So period, more literally, is the dot sign that you place at the end of sentences. So in this case, you're just using it to emphasize a statement. Pretty much just saying that it is final and it is not open to discussion or debate.
All right, guys, I hope that you've really enjoyed learning with it, but now you have to take the challenge of seeing how well you can understand it without the subtitles.
I'm going, bro!
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. You'll probably be about as good as I was. That's kind of the way it works, and I was below average. So you'll probably ultimately rank somewhere around there, so you'll excel at a lot of things, just not this. I don't want you out here shooting this ball around all day and night, all right?
All right.
Okay? All right, go ahead. Hey. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
All right, guys, thanks so much for joining Izzy and myself today to have a lot of fun learning with this hugely impactful movie. I highly recommend that you guys watch it, and if you want to learn more with this movie, we've done a couple other lessons with it, so check out this one next.
I just had to show them I was good with numbers and good with people.
Good morning, Mr. Twistle.
Good morning, Jane.
Mr. Twistle, Chris
Hi.
Gardner.
Hi.
Hey, I wanted to drop this off to you personally and make your acquaintance. I thought I'd catch you on the way in.
Okay.
Hey, I'd really love the opportunity to sit and discuss what may seem like weaknesses on my application.
Okay, well, we'll start with this, Chris, and we'll call you if we want to sit down.
Yes, sir. You have a great day.
You too.